All I have in this world is my balls and my word, and I don't break them for no one. Do you understand?
Rightio legends, Chaos Chronicles, and we're back with another video. And so today I thought we would do one on the Mushroom Lady trial, seeing as that lady, ERRIN Patterson, has been found guilty. But before we get into it, if you guys haven't already subscribed, jump down there, shoot me a subscription. And if you haven't already, hit that bell. It will give you a notification every single time I drop my video. All right, so ERRIN Patterson found
The Victorian
guilty.
Supreme Court's released exhibits and evidence shown in the 9-week trial of ERRIN Patterson. On Monday, Patterson was found guilty of all charges, 3 of murder and 1 of attempted murder after a lunch she hosted at her home in 2023. Throughout her trial, she maintained her innocence, saying the deaths were a tragic accident. Here's some of the evidence used to convict Patterson of her crimes. The beef Wellington leftovers. During the trial, the jury heard ERRIN Patterson cooked individually wrapped beef Wellingtons for her lunch guests from a modified recipe of Australian author Nagi Maihashi's cookbook, Recipe 10 Eats Dinner. 2 days after the lunch, police found leftovers of the meal in a bin at Patterson's home. After testing, expert analysis found the beta-amanita toxin was present in the leftovers, a toxin also present in death cap mushrooms. The death cap mushrooms. Images of mushrooms on a scale were extracted from Patterson's tablet and was shown to several people during the trial, including fungi expert Tom May, who with a high level of confidence identified them as being death cap mushrooms. In cross-examination, Patterson denied weighing the mushrooms to administer fatal doses to her lunch guests. The dehydrator. Patterson admitted to lying to police about owning and dumping her Sunbeam food dehydrator after the lunch. This CCTV footage from Kunwara transfer station shows Patterson dumping the dehydrator. Days after the lunch, police found the food dehydrator at the tip. The toilet stop. The day after the deadly lunch, Patterson took her son for a flying lesson. During the trip, Patterson told the court she made a stop at a service station to go to the toilet and dispose of soiled tissues she'd used after an emergency stop to relieve herself. CCTV footage shows the now convicted triple murderer walking to the bathroom and walking out just 9 seconds later. The diary. Mother-in-law Gail Patterson was one of the guests who died after the fatal lunch. Throughout the trial, there was plenty of evidence that she was warm and caring towards ERRIN Patterson. The court was shown Gail Patterson's diary, marking out the date of the beef Wellington lunch, which she then attended with husband Don and sister Heather and Heather's husband Ian. The jury of 12 ultimately found it was that lunch where she was murdered by her daughter-in-law. In the coming weeks, ERRIN Patterson will be sentenced, after which she could attempt to appeal her convictions.
Rightio, so as you just heard, found guilty on all 3 counts of murder. So what does this mean for ERRIN Patterson moving forward? So from here on, because she has been found guilty, she will go to what's called a sentencing hearing. So certain things will take place in that sentencing hearing. So all the people that are on the people's who died's side, so like the people's family and whatever, whoever were affected, who were affected, would have made impact statements. So all those impact statements and all those people can now read out their impact statements, and that will get heard as evidence, and that will make, obviously those impact statements make a difference to what her sentencing is going to be. So every single one of those people will get heard individually in their impact statements. And then, so what will happen is the prosecution will put forward, all the evidence, what was used in the trial and what was found as sufficient evidence. So they'll put all that forward and say, like, look, we have all this evidence right here, and we suggest that she should get this sentence, right? So the prosecution can only suggest a sentence, and then what will happen is ERRIN will be able to come back and she will be able to stand up and have her say and say why she thinks she should get, this amount of time or only this amount of time because the prosecution are asking for this amount of time. So I can guarantee you right now that the prosecution will be asking for life without parole, like she took 3 people's life in a very, very, very brutal way. Excuse me. So that is what the prosecution will be asking for. So let's just use that as an example. So she will then come back and say, like, look, I don't think I should get life because I think that, blah, 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 this happened and this happened and this happened. So what will happen is she will come out and say, I don't think I should get life because I am not guilty. I didn't I didn't deliberately kill these people, rah, rah, rah. So what that will automatically do, so that will automatically make her, like, straight away make her show no remorse. So she's been found guilty, and like there's nothing that can be done right now, like even an appeal process. Like she still has to like go through sentencing and blah blah blah. She will put in an appeal, but this is the process that will happen. And so, they will definitely be asking for life, and she will be arguing that, like she did through her whole trial, that she shouldn't get life. And, that just shows absolutely zero remorse. And the judge will jot that down, every little thing that he is saying. And then the judge will go away after everyone's evidence is heard. Erin Patterson's evidence is heard, the prosecution's evidence is heard, all the impact statements are heard. Everything will be compiled into one little folder, and then that judge will go off and he will make his decision. So even though the prosecution will suggest what they think, what time she should get, it is the judge that makes the final decision on how much time Erin Patterson will get. And if you ask me, like, she will get life in prison. And so what that will mean from then on is like, so she's not gonna, so yeah, what that will mean from then on is she will already be at Dame Phyllis Frost Centre right now. So that is the only maximum security women's prison in the state. So that's exactly where she will be, where she will more than likely be on protection from protection, because even the people in protection will want to attack her for what she done. Because the reality is, right, she killed three elderly people, and she's a lot younger than them all herself. And so these are crimes that are seen as like putrid crimes. If you do any crime against the elderly, like, you are absolutely seen as like a putrid dog, maggot, skunk, whatever. Like, you are in the same category as a PDF file if you attack old people. And that's how every single criminal across the board sees it. So, she is gonna have a tough time. So even though she is in protection, you've got to understand that, like, screws hate these people just as much as the crooks do. So, like, she will conveniently get put in places where she will conveniently probably find herself on the end of number of shank sandwiches on a number of different occasions. Like, that lady is going to spend the rest of her fucking life in jail, and rightly so. Like, she deserves it. Like, and like, deliberately showed absolutely no remorse the whole way through it. So she just was stupid as well. So she signed herself out of the hospital early. They were obviously concerned, and so that's when red flags started to go up. And so even nurses and doctors from the hospital that she admitted herself to, and that the lady who survived was admitted to that hospital as well, they were obviously concerned, because the other people that ended up dying weren't dead yet. And so they were concerned that she was going to die. And so she literally got up and signed herself out behind the doctors' backs, and literally done it behind their backs. But what was also putrid as well is she gave evidence that her kids ate leftovers from that beef Wellington. Now, in the evidence, it was said that she served up her own meal on a different color plate, rah, rah, rah. As you know, they found the food dehydrated. They had so much evidence against her. She was never, ever, ever going to get away with it. But what was putrid is she refused medical attention for her children. And she said that her children ate the leftovers of the beef Wellington. Now, obviously, her children are still alive, but like, things like that, people like myself take on board. When all these news articles and whatnot come on the news, people like myself take all these little bits of information on board, knowing damn well that there is a good chance, especially at a place like Port Phillip, they would always run these people through the mainstream just so they would get their foreheads tap danced on, or so they would get a few shank sandwiches in the neck. You know what I mean? So you've got to understand her outlook is absolutely fucking bleak, and she is not going to have a fun time. Take it from me, I know many, many, many females that have spent time at Dame Phyllis Frost Centre, and they will tell you that, like, it is just as bad, if not worse. Now, every single screw that I spoke to that has moved from a male's from Dame Phyllis to a male's prison like Port Phillip have told me that that place is literally worse than any male prison they've ever worked at. And he says that them girls are fucking crazy. Now, you've got to understand, no disrespect to the females, but like, you know, all them girls would be in sync. So one time a month, there's going to be, you know, all these women that are, you know, having their monthlies and all going to be not happy characters at that time. So, you know, it would just be, and every single person that I know that's done prison there has told me just as brutal stories as the men's maximum security prison. So you better believe that ERRIN Patterson is got a life of hell ahead of her. I would almost say that, you know, she would probably do something herself, you know, but who knows? But I would, you know, that's a big sentence, and she would know that she is going to be, you know, having hell. And like, there's already rumors and like little news snippets getting around that there's already talk about her trying to like get into people's food already. Now, I can't confirm that. I can't find any news articles. I've just heard rumors on social media. But yeah, there you go, guys. ERRIN Patterson found guilty of all 3 murders. She is going to be doing life in prison, and rightly so. What a putrid piece of work you are. And yeah, there you go, guys. If you like that video, if there's anyone else you'd like me to do a video on, chuck it down there in this comment section. I have been the Chaos Chronicles. You guys have been absolutely awesome. Yeah, don't do drugs and crime and you won't end up in prison.
Prison walls can't hold me, got my mind in the fight, calculating moves, plotting wrongs to make right. Living for the thrill in a world that's intense. The Chaos Chronicles, making sense of the suspense.